Okay.
You know who's the #1 carrier of HIV and AIDS is African-American women.
That's right, females.
Females. So what we have to do is, as pastors, we came together last year. We tested over 500 people in our congregation to test for HIV and AIDS, because testing is important. And then we want to engage in how do we prevent the spread of HIV and AIDS? How do we prevent that? So as pastors, we have to gauge the social justice. And that's one of the things that we have to do, is be proactive. Be proactive. Whatever your issue is, get out there and see if you can find a solution. Not just talk about it, but get things done.
You know, that's one of the complaints that I've heard, and we've had dozens of AIDS and HIV shows here, but that's one of the major complaints that we've heard. That is, the church is not really taking an active role in reference to this, and as a matter of fact, some will go so far as to say that the church are even helping to reinforce the stigmas that are generally associated with that. And certainly, I appreciate what you're saying in reference to this, that the church can get involved, and
we did get involved.
We ought to be involved.
In fact, I was at a planning meeting today, and we are planning our next event. It will be in June, and where we're going to have a faith-based symposium on HIV and AIDS. It's going to be church leaders and pastors and ministers coming along with the mayor and the Department of Health. And we're going to be working together, and we're going to do another day of testing in our churches, Pastors for Prevention. And this is to help give awareness to HIV and AIDS. I got a daughter, I've got a mother, and I've got a wife. And I'm really concerned about the fact that women now are the #1 carriers. And so they don't get it by themselves, Dr. Haynes.
That's right.
So we have to do what we can in order to teach, educate, empower, and also prevent the spread. And that's a huge social justice issue.
So you seem to be very, very optimistic in terms of our ability to be able to do this. Do you think that we can actually do it, that we have the resources and things that are necessary to carry out a responsibility kind of agenda?
Look what happened to Barack Obama. He raised over $700 million with small gifts. People giving $5 and $10. You know, the remarkable thing about Barack Obama is that he had rich people, poor people, black, white, Hispanic, Asian. He had the young and the old. He inspired them to become organizers and to get their community. He had people who were 90 years old who had never voted. He had people who were 19 years old who never voted. And so if he can do it, we can do it. Jesus started with 12 disciples and changed the world. So I know that we can change Nashville for the better if all of us get engaged and begin to provide leadership and provide service to our community at the level that we can do it.
And you think we're ready for the councilman?
If we're not ready for it, those who are not ready, get out of the way.
All right.
If you're an elected official, you're not providing leadership, step down. Or what we'll do is we'll get somebody to run against you.
All right.
But the time has come now for our elected officials to step up or get out of the way. It's time for our pastors to step up and to lead and to take on this banner of social justice, take on the issue of incarceration.
Okay, very good. And of course, we've got about 2 minutes, and that gives you 2 minutes to sort of summarize some of the things that you're planning on doing and some of the things that you'd like to see done during your administration over the entire city area.
Sure. My agenda is this. It's to have an affordable housing ordinance, and we will deal with affordable housing. It is also to deal with healthcare disparities and support Metro General Hospital that provides health care for those persons who can pay and those persons who cannot pay. We need to support. That's a social issue. That's a moral issue, supporting Metro General Hospital. The other thing I'm dealing with is to decrease the dropout rate among African-American males, to provide mentoring and programs for them, to deal with those persons who've already been to jail, make sure they don't go back to jail for the prodigal son, for Pastors for Prevention of HIV and AIDS, testing, education in our churches where it belongs. We talk about everything else, cancer, we talk about money, we talk about all kind of other things.
That's right.
We need to talk about AIDS and HIV.
That really having an impact on us.
And so I'm dealing with those particular issues, and the final issue is creating jobs in the inner city.
Okay.
Economic development is a key part of where I want to encourage companies to hire urban people. Don't be afraid, and also to encourage people to get jobs and do what they need to do to get those jobs.
Over this last minute, you know, we had these young folks here, and what they're saying is that we would give up the dope, the packs, and the whole thing if we had a job and if we had some support. And I think that the idea of dealing with this urban unemployment, especially among the disadvantaged, is one of the things that can really change the way things are. And of course, we're running out of time, and let me thank you, Councilman, for bringing by that excellent information and the enthusiasm with which you brought that information. And we certainly appreciate that, and we'll be able to carry this on. And we'll let me encourage our audience to tune in again next week for another informative edition of Comments. Thank you and good morning.